Hello, my name is Patricia Driggers. I'm the Portal Registrar and the Education Specialist for Hancock Physician Network. Today I'm going to talk to you about the P in AIDET plus the promise, and of course the P stands for promise. And when you think about the promise, you are talking about planting a seed for what the patient can expect in the way of patient care. So you're making a statement of your personal commitment to the patient's care and their experience with Hancock Health. And you're trying to connect your heart with the heart of the patient so that they know that you care about them. You want to explain the experience the patient should expect to receive and state Hancock Health's commitment to provide excellent care. So I have several examples here in the next several slides of promises that you can make. You might want to make some notes of some examples that you think you might like to use. And as we go, you might want to jot down some that might work in your work area. So the first example here is, we have a great team here, and I promise that we are going to take excellent care of you. I like this one because it manages up the team, plus it makes a personal promise to the patient. The next example says, I assure you I'll explain the steps as we go, and I won't do anything to take you by surprise. This is a great way of reassuring the patient, helping to decrease their anxiety. I promise to respect your right to privacy while I clean your room. This shows that you have respect and follow HIPAA guidelines. So let's look at some more examples. I promise to respect your right to privacy when discussing your billing concerns, so I'm going to close the door during our conversation. Again, that shows respect for HIPAA guidelines. My goal is to communicate clearly and regularly so you know what to expect during your procedure. I like this one because if you saw my other YouTube video, it was about the E in AIDET, which stands for explanation. So hopefully you realize how important it is to thoroughly explain things to patients. So if you make that promise that you're going to do an excellent job explaining, then you'll want to hold to that promise, and it will make you mindful of being careful to do that. Let's look at some more examples. I promise to personalize your care with the values and needs that are important to you while you are my patient. Now, this is a very generalized, generic promise that anyone can use. Or, I want to assure you that I will work with you to coordinate your care until you are safely discharged. The last one on this slide, my goal is to register you today accurately and in a timely manner. So as we go through the slides, through the video, you may want to just click pause if you see one of these examples that you want to use and to make a note of it. I suggest you actually write it down on a piece of paper and keep that paper in your work area. That way you can refer to it throughout the day, and it's a reminder to make sure you're utilizing the promise while you're using your AIDET. Let's go to look at some other examples. I promise that we will do everything we can to manage your pain. These examples refer more to a team that's helping to manage a patient's pain. I promise to keep you updated regarding any further delays and to keep you as comfortable as possible while you wait. Or, I'm going to do everything I can to minimize the discomfort for you. So these would be good examples to let the patients know that you do empathize, that you are aware that they are uncomfortable. How about this one? I am going to do my best to get you in and out today. This might be a great promise to use with the patient who comes in and says, I've got to get out of here fast. I've got another appointment. You might want to use this promise with them. Or how about, I promise to be by your side during this procedure. Again, that helps alleviate anxiety and lets the patient know that you really care about them. Or this is a great one to use with a fellow coworker. I notice you haven't had a break today. I assure you I will help you out as much as I can. So, how much better could a fellow team member feel when they know that you recognize that they're working hard and that they could use help? So that's a great way to build connection and trust within the team. So let's look at why it's so important to use the promise with AIDET plus the promise. There are definitely benefits for patients. So when you make a promise to a patient, you're creating a connection and a trust between the patient and you. So when you use the promise, you are positively impacting the patients, the family members of the patient, and fellow employees. But from the patient's perspective, they are receiving an affirmation or a confirmation that you are committed to take wonderful care of them or excellent care of them. So what are the benefits for employees? Whenever you state a promise, that actually becomes your own self-fulfilling prophecy of who you are and who you want to be in your healthcare career. When you make a promise, your word becomes your bond, and you want to live true to your word. So when you make a promise, make sure that you do everything you can to fulfill that promise. And when you use the promise with fellow coworkers, like we mentioned earlier, that helps to build connection and trust within your team. So how can we benefit as an organization by using the promise? When we as associates of Hancock Health use the promise, we lay that foundation for care that we will provide for our patients. So that helps move us from good to great with providing exceptional patient experience results. So remember to LEAP. We want to represent Hank's Kindness Army well by articulating the promise for patients and also using it with our coworkers. I want to thank you for listening to this video, and thank you for putting patients first and for using the promise in your AIDET Plus promise with all of your communication with your patients and with your coworkers. Thank you.